You all set, are you, Christina? Oh, thank you.
I'll get everybody up.
The church franchise.
Well, I'll bring myself in from 9 to 11. And yeah, I can take stuff up in the dinghy on the Friday.
Good evening, councillors, and welcome to the Sandwich Town Council annual meeting of the council as trustees of Sandwich Tollbridge Fund. Thank you for being here this evening. Such a lovely evening. Item number 1, we have apologies for absence received. Town Clerk, did you have any apologies?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, so we have apologies from Councillor Green, a travel commitment. Apologies from Councillor Underson, a personal commitment. Councillor Marie sends his apologies for a work commitment. Councillor Tomlins for a work commitment. And Councillor Pennington for a travel commitment.
Thank you very much for that. Excellent. Item number 2 is declarations of interest, and this is to receive any declarations of disclosable pecuniary interests from members in respect of business to be transacted on the agenda tonight. Do we have any declarations? That's a nil return on that one. Thank you very much. Item number 3 on the agenda is minutes of the previous meeting and committees. SO 5 CI and II and III, which are all actually numbers, Roman numerals, as it were, to approve the minutes of the ordinary meeting of Sandwich Town Council as trustees of Sandwich Tollbridge Fund, which was held on the 29th of April 2024, and to consider any matters arising from those minutes not covered elsewhere in this agenda. And this is attachment 1A. Councillor Chuka, did you have a...
I just had 2 comments on, from the minutes, STBF 04249, Museum Emergency Plan. Looking at the Museum and Archives Committee terms of reference, it refers to the emergency plan being the responsibility of the museum coordinator, and it's their responsibility to produce and provide it into the Museum and Archives Committee. That I'm just making a proposal that this action that's listed here maybe should transfer across to the museum coordinator, unless there's a strong argument for keeping it with the town clerk.
Yes, so the idea is that would go to the Museum and Archive Committee first and then come through to the trustee afterwards. So it is work in train and it is being worked on currently.
By the museum coordinator?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So it might just be worth reflecting that actually the working part is with the museum coordinator. And then the confidential matter that's referred in the minutes, I'm not sure it properly plays out why we went into a confidential period. It talks in here about, sorry, I'm trying to find words. The public be asked to leave due to the item contained in work related to commercials with a specific proposed project. Temporary exhibitions within minor refurbishment. We know it was about the commercial discussions that were ongoing, so could we just revise it? That's why we went into confidence. It wasn't about the layouts downstairs at all. It was really about the fact that it was a very sensitive stage of the commercial negotiations for the Wingham Bowl.
Yes, no problem.
And that's it.
Thank you. Does anybody else have any comments at all? If you don't, I'd like somebody to propose the minutes and somebody to second them if possible. I'm quite happy to propose those minutes if somebody's... Thank you, Councillor Gray. Councillor Gray seconded those. And all those in favour of those minutes, please show with your cards or hands if necessary. Okay, I think that's everybody. Anybody abstaining? No?
Yeah.
Oh, one abstention. Okay,
Thank you.
Councillor Ripley, so that's okay. And the second item of 3 is to receive the minutes of the Museum and Archive Committee meeting held on the 24th of April 2024. And this is attachment 1B. It's this one here. Has anybody got any comments to make about that? Councillor Black?
Yeah, can I just confirm, MA 04.24.3, has this now finally been resolved? Because this dates way back to the January meeting where there was a bit of an error on what was said.
So those minutes would be approved by the Museum and Archive Committee at the next meeting. So these minutes are for the 24th of April.
Yes, I know, and they said specifically the minutes of January, 3rd of January were agreed and received. The trouble is that last time we saw that it was the wrong document, and I drew attention to that. I hope this thing is blooming well finally resolved.
I didn't think it was the Museum and Archive Committee from my recollection. I thought it was a different committee, but I can certainly check back
All
for
right,
you.
okay, fair enough. You're more on it than I am.
Yeah,
My
I believe
apologies
that's
if I've got it wrong.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Any other comments at all? No? Okay then. I'm quite happy to propose these minutes. Is anybody happy to second the minutes at all? Thank you, Councillor Ripley. Thank you very much. And all those in favour of the minutes, please show using your cards. Is that an abstention?
Yeah, 2 abstentions.
2 abstentions.
Okay,
Thank you,
thank you.
Councillor Moore.
Thank you.
Councillor Morehouse and Councillor Cheetah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Item number 4 is payment schedules and bank reconciliations. And this is item 4A is to approve the Sandwich Tollbridge Fund Guildhall end of April and May missed payment schedules. And this is attachment 2A. Has anybody got any comments on that? If not, I'd like a proposer and a seconder. Councillor Tuke proposing.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I did struggle to find the statement of accounts for the end of May. I can see April's in there, but I can't see the end of May. So
Perhaps they haven't been posted yet.
I just wonder, with the finance officer being on leave, there might be an opportunity to.
Yes. So I will. Yeah, she was on annual leave last week. So there were a lot of attachments for the agenda, as you can see.
Yeah.
But I will check back with the RFO to make sure they've all been captured. Anything that hasn't been captured, I can certainly bring for Wednesday for the Tollbridge Finance Committee.
So long as that Wednesday we can review them, but we'll have to bring them back to the next STBF to actually approve, because we can't approve.
Yeah, I'll check with the RFO to see, but I'm pretty certain it's all there. But I've just got to check. It's a new system, and I know it's not very clearly labelled at the moment. It's work in progress. We're trying to grapple with it and come up with the better identification for each report.
Councillor Wiles.
Yes, just looking at the sum for insurance, Guildhall insurance, 17,000 something. Could you remind us what, is that the full amount for the Guildhall annually?
That's that. I think.
So sorry, which report were we looking at? Sorry.
I think that's the one for the buildings and contents, wasn't it? When I read it earlier.
Do you know what appendix is?
Oh no, sorry.
No,
I did
it's all
read
right.
this earlier.
17,636. Sandwich Town Council reimbursement for Guildhall insurance.
Yes. So that's what happens is the premium's paid and then it's reimbursed.
Okay.
So yeah, so
So
that
the
would be the
total
whole.
premium for this building is 17,000.
It would be for the reimbursement, isn't it? That's the reimbursement side. Sorry, I don't know which page it's on. I think just for clarification, I'll take this back because it would have been helpful if I'd known before the meeting. I could have spoken to the RFO today, but I'll take that away for you and clarify and share that with all members.
All assets.
So I know the insurance has been renewed, so that's all done. And it's shared between STC and STBF.
Okay.
So the money has to be moved.
Just a minute, Chairman, isn't this cover the whole of the assets, all the buildings?
As far as I knew,
Yeah,
as far as I
it's
knew, I thought it
the
was.
table, the cinema.
It's not just the Guildhall, it's
It's
all
down
assets.
to
Yeah.
a lump.
I thought it was all, including it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was confused. That's all.
Yeah.
We can get the town clerk
Yeah.
to check if you like.
Yeah, I'll do that and report back to members.
All the assets are for this purpose.
Okay, so all those in, did I have a proposer? Was it Councillor Chuka? Did you propose these? Oh, you didn't? Oh, sorry. Okay then. Could I have a proposer and seconder for the April, May missed payment schedules?
I'll propose it. I trust the finance
Thank you
officer.
very much. So, and I'm prepared to second that. All those in favour, please hold up your cards, whichever one.
2 abstentions.
Since are free now. Councillor
Okay.
Chuka, Councillor Morehouse
Thank
and
you.
Councillor Ripley.
Thank you.
Okay, that
Yeah.
item's been passed. Thank you very much. And item 4B is to approve the Sandwich Tollbridge Fund payment schedules for May and June. And that was attachment 2B. Did we have any queries on that at all? If not, I would be quite happy to propose that forward if somebody was to second that at all.
So confused by what we're looking at now because there's no sort of references on the attachments.
No, I realise it's tricky and basically, you know, there was a lot of reports to get out and yeah. So I didn't have time to
criticism,
no.
that's just because I'm.
But I think it
looking
would be helpful if members have queries to raise it before the meeting. That would be really helpful because then I can find out, you know, the answers for you.
I believe it's that one.
Yeah, let's see.
That's it. So this is the payment schedules for May and June. Have the others got these markings?
No, that was my notes.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
yours, was it? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
That's right.
Did you want me to show you my ones at all, Councillor Ripley?
No.
Okay, these been. So I'm proposing those. I don't know if there's no comments on those. Was somebody? Have you found them okay, Councillor Chuka? Oh, you haven't.
Okay. If members then aren't happy to approve all these finance reports, it might be that you need to defer the decision for the finance committee on Wednesday, if that's, you know, if everybody's not comfortable.
Yeah, but it's Tollbridge though, isn't it?
That would make a lot of sense.
Would it be better, would it be better for the town council, maybe, and people can sort of look at it more? Could probably do it tomorrow's Tuesday, then make time to look at it all, don't
So if members aren't comfortable, that's what I'm saying, if members aren't comfortable this evening, because looking around the room, there are people that, but if members had come to me before the meeting this evening, I might have been able to help everybody, but now we're in the meeting, it's a bit difficult, because I'm not entirely sure what pages you're looking at and trying to refer to things.
It's just, it refers to attachments 2A, 2B, etc. But
Yes,
there's nothing on the
no,
actual document.
no, I realise that,
May I make a suggestion? That,
Indeed, please, Councillor.
Because we've got this thing, and I appreciate the point you made, this new system, even if someone could rapidly tomorrow, just give us the heading of each one and let us know whether that is 2A, 2B or 2C. That's the quickest way if you'd like it looked at on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because I think this is the bit we're all struggling with. Am I on 2B or 2C at the moment?
Yeah.
Unless I misinterpreted what people are saying.
Yeah.
2B or not 2B.
Oh.
It's really
yes,
She's
she's
here
here,
to do
she's
that.
here,
So that you don't have to
yeah,
do it.
yeah, that's
Sorry
right.
to give you words, Joe, but I just think it might be.
No, that's a good answer there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Councillor Chuka?
I was just going to say, I think we've just had a clash of a few issues here with the finance officer off for the past week. Any opportunity, I suppose, to address any gaps might have been difficult in any case. So I think we need breathing space just to reflect. Because I think we will find that there may be some papers missing from this pack. So if we've got it all in front of us, then we can have a proper review on Wednesday and then bring it back to the next STBF to approve.
Yeah,
That would be my
exactly.
suggestion.
Indeed, yeah. So all those in favour of deferring it to the next Wednesday's meeting?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, that's unanimous then.
There might be an extraordinary meeting required in Tonbridge, if the payments need to be done.
If need to be done.
Yeah.
Okay. So would that include item 5B, 5 as well, would it? I'm not sure. Let's have a look to see. Because this pack actually looks different from my one, actually.
Budget comparisons, and then you have the reconciliations.
That's it.
Yeah, so all the reconciliations are there, and they're all
There,
labelled.
That's it, yeah, I've got those ones.
Yeah.
So item 5, Tonbridge and statement of accounts, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
which one
I
is
don't know if you want to do the reconciliations first.
that?
I think they were on the, yeah, the reconciliations are here.
Right, okay. So, item 4E is to approve the bank reconciliations for Sandwich Tonbridge Fund Museum for April and May. So these ones are labelled up. Are you able to find these ones at all?
Got the April one.
So we're on 4E to approve the bank reconciliations. So is everybody happy with the approving the bank reconciliations that we've done?
Yeah.
Indeed, yeah. So
Councillor
Councillor Chuka's
Chuka.
proposing, and I'll second that. All those in favour of the bank reconciliations? That's 4E
Okay.
item.
Thank you.
And item 4F to approve the bank reconciliations for April and May. Are you happy to approve those?
Is that for the museum or the goods?
4F.
Yeah, but that's the
Is that
Tonbridge
okay?
Fund.
Tonbridge
Fund,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
first one was the museum.
Oh, the first
yeah.
one museum, that's
Yeah,
it.
this is
This
the
one
Tonbridge.
is just for the Tollbridge Fund, the reconciliations Tollbridge Fund. I'm happy to propose those for F. Is anybody to second? Councillor Morehouse to second. And all those in favour of the bank reconciliations being undertaken correctly? I think that's everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you. And item 4G is to approve the bank reconciliations for Sandwich Tollbridge Fund Guildhall only for April and May. So I'm quite happy to propose the reconciliations being done. Is anybody prepared to second that at all? Councillor Morehouse. And all those in favour of the bank reconciliations for the Guildhall being done correctly?
Yeah.
Unanimous there? Okay. That's okay there. And we'll go on to item 5 of the agenda, finances and budget variances. To receive and approve the Sandwich Tollbridge Fund statement of accounts from the 30th of April and 31st of May. Reconciliations that we just done. Shouldn't be such a busy town council, should we? Oh, is it that one there? Is it?
Budget,
Oh, that's it. Oh, brilliant. Okay.
budget variances end of April.
Oh, super. So we have the to receive and approve Sandwich Tollbridge Fund statement of accounts as at 30th of April and 31st of May. Are councillors happy to approve those? Okay, I will propose that. Do we have a seconder, Councillor Ripley? And all those, is that okay?
I don't think we have got the statement of accounts from May. I can't see them.
I can't see.
No, we've got April.
Oh. Should I pass this around so they can...
I mean,
Yes,
that
we've got
helps.
the statement as at the 30th of April, but we haven't beyond that.
Correct.
Another page starts at 2nd of May.
budget comparison.
It must be that one.
If members want to take these as well and leave these till Wednesday, I think that's what they want to
I think that would be the best way forward.
Okay,
do. Okay.
okay, sure. fill them. Budget statement of accounts.
Yeah, I think it's just the name of the reports as well as different.
Yeah, it's very difficult because it's a new system, isn't it? That's the trouble.
Yeah.
Nobody's used to the new system, that's the problem. So,
No, on Wednesday.
oh, thank you, Jill. That's very kind. So, item number, we move on to item number 6 and the STBF standing orders and financial regulations.
Sorry, I don't know if you want to do the quilter.
Oh, yeah, which one was that?
Quilter sheet.
Oh, 5D. Oh, sorry. So 5D, I think that's quite plain, isn't it? The quilter Cheviot account. So hopefully you can discern those. To receive and approve the quilter Cheviot Assets Management Monthly Investment Report as at the 30th of April 2024. So do we have any comments on that, or is somebody happy to propose and second that?
I think we've discussed this in the past about the
Performance.
both the performance and the portfolio, and whether we're happy with the range of shares that we're investing in. I mean, I can see there's still BP, SO, fossil fuels, Amazon, etc., etc. So I think we need to take this forward as an item for discussion in greater depth, perhaps at the Finance and General Purposes Committee, where we can look at whether we feel comfortable with all the investments we make.
Discuss, yeah.
It'd be the Finance Committee,
Yes.
Councillor Wyeth.
Sorry, the
Yes,
Finance.
Finance.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
He's just been greedy because of chairing. So,
I think we should ask the, he generally comes down, doesn't he, Chappie?
he does,
And I
cancel.
think, we don't mean invite him down and show our concern, because a lot of the councillors don't realise that we're only on medium risk,
Yeah,
aren't we?
indeed,
Because
that's
we could
correct.
go on a higher risk and earn more money.
That's, yeah, exactly, yeah.
And also, we would, or low risk,
Yeah,
and also, there's an ethical policy as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
The town council.
yeah,
So I think the councillors need to know what the ethical policy
Yeah.
is, and what, you know,
sure,
and I think it'd be better if he actually comes down
yeah,
for a meeting and addresses us all.
yeah. But I think at the meeting on Wednesday, I think in order to prepare the gentleman for coming down here, we would have to have a set of questions that we're querying with him and his company, so we can't ask him to come down completely.
No, but you could tell about, he could talk about the ethical policy, couldn't he, and the medium risk.
He could,
Because
yeah.
I know, I'm a trustee of another organisation, and they've got a fantastic results, and I think they take a slightly higher risk.
Yeah, indeed, that would be true, yeah. So we need to be able to prime the representative from Quilter Cheviot and say, we're not happy with being medium risk.
Yeah.
Could you detail what high risk is? Could you detail a portfolio that doesn't have fossil fuels, in it as well? So we need to prime him so that he's got information in his hands.
I'm
So
quite happy with fossil fuels as it all, because I would drive a car.
yeah. So
If you drive
Councillor
a car, you
Wiles.
can't mind.
Yeah, I think it's a wider discussion than just the portfolio, because the Tollbridge Fund is these investments plus the assets
That's right.
that we
Yeah.
have, and we need to look at the whole picture and whether we.
Yeah.
I don't think the assets come into this particular, with the stocks and shares.
No, but the Tollbridge Fund is both this portfolio and the assets that we own. The
Yeah,
Tollbridge
but
Fund.
I know. But some of the assets, you're never going to make any money off, are you?
No.
Oh,
They're like a hole in the ground over a swimming pool. You're never going to make any money, you've got to support them.
well, but for example, you might want to invest in art or other things than shares.
It's like this Guildhall, this is a white elephant, you never make this place pay.
No. But we need to look at the fund in the whole, not just.
Indeed. Councillor
And I was just
Tudor.
going to say with Quilter, so we spent quite a bit of time with them probably about 9 months ago. So I
Exactly.
think we've got, they will have a story already well rehearsed. So I wouldn't want us to spend an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours with them to go through a lot of ground we've done before. And do they physically need to be here? Not necessarily. We could always do it on a Zoom call where they, in the room, rather
Exactly.
than face to face. And they, if they say, well, we can come, but we can't come for 3-4 months.
Exactly.
The focus should be on higher risk.
I think so.
What is the
I think
pluses
it's
and
too low at the
minuses
moment.
of that?
Yeah.
Focus on how you maximise the potential out of the fund,
Yeah,
but recognising what the risks are that are attached to it. I think that's where we need to focus.
Yeah.
yeah,
And whether you say 10% of it should be high risk,
yeah,
Yeah.
indeed, yeah.
move it around.
Yeah.
And another factor, speaking from the chair, is if you wish to continue with the same company, in fact. So, I mean, I do remember, you know, when we, Jeff and I were on the council previously, we had different portfolio management company, and we changed to Quilter Chevia. And that was quite a long time ago, wasn't it?
So I say, the other thing I'm involved with, they only took quick to achieve it on last year, and I think they've got higher risk and they're very pleased with their returns.
Yeah.
So it depends what you ask them to do.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, most definitely. Okay then. Oh, Councillor Morehouse.
Previous change was 2009, I believe.
Oh, was it?
You check the records.
Oh, that's, yeah, that gives an example of how long ago that was then. So, thank you for that, yeah. That's a long time ago, so we really do need to review the whole thing, don't we? So, okay, I think, so we'll defer that then.
I'm happy to.
You're happy to, no, I think they're happy to.
Yes.
Are they
Yes,
happy
yeah,
to?
yes.
Are you happy to? Oh, I see. Oh, I thought you had a large number of inquiries. Oh, sorry.
Not the actual.
Oh, are you?
No,
Are you
just that it's something we need to review.
to review? Indeed. Okay then. So this is to receive and approve the Quilter Chevia Assets Management Monthly Investment Report as at 30th of April 2024. So I'm happy to propose that. Is somebody happy to second that? Councillor Wild.
Yeah.
And all those in favour of Quilter Chevia for that month? Okay, that's unanimous. That's passed. Thank you. And item number 6, and this is the STBF Standing Orders and Financial Regulations Review, and this is SO 5C 8, instead of saying VIII. And item number A is the trustees to consider a proposed draft from the Town Clerk for standing orders to be considered for review by the Finance Committee. And this is attachment 4. So,
Sorry, I just wanted to add as well, with the committee membership that we're going to move on to, these current standing, or these are the standing orders that were last reviewed. It does actually say that the after it has appointed the members of the standing committee, the chair will be appointed for the committee. If members would prefer that the committees agree or appoint the chair, that can be amended in the standing orders.
Councillor Gray.
I'm somewhat confused by what we're being asked to do in this. It says the trustees to consider a proposed draft to be considered for review by the Finance Committee. Are we considering the draft, or are we agreeing that it should be considered for review by the Finance Committee?
So it wasn't really.
Approving.
Yeah, I
approving
did.
the draft. I have quite a lot to say on that.
Yes, and that's what I suspected. That's why I said if members can consider these, because we need to adopt something this evening, and then, like you have done previously, you take them to the committee for them to, or a working group, whichever you prefer, to look at them.
Yeah. My view on the standing orders is that a year ago, some of us spent a considerable amount of time
We should.
producing new standing orders for the council, which we considered made them more comprehensible for councillors and more understandable by the public. And the attachment 4, the draft, is very different from the standing order we have for the council. To my mind, is there any reason why the Towbridge Fund standing orders should be different from the council standing orders? We understand the council standing orders. They work well. They've worked well for the last 12 months. We've had no arguments about them like we had before the previous ones. And I would like to see the Towbridge Fund adopting identical standing orders to the council, and we all know where we are there.
Yeah, that's an
You
option.
can, you can put that forward
Yeah.
as a proposal, Councillor Gray. So that's your proposal?
That's my
Okay.
proposal.
I'll second that.
And councillor
So
Black
that-
seconding that. So, all those in favour? Please show.
Okay.
That's fine. Anybody abstaining? No? Oh, one abstention from councillor Tudor there.
And so I will obviously alter those to reflect that we're talking about the trustee and not the
Yes,
council.
they'll need slight revision too.
Yeah, and I'll bring those back to the next meeting.
That's fine.
Would members prefer that goes to the committee first, or would they prefer that that comes back to the trustee?
The suggestion that perhaps the committee might need to look at them in a bit more detail, because the principle is very sound that we should have very similar standing orders, but there is a little bit of detail in here that slight differences between Tollbridge and council, and I think we may end up with the small group having maybe one or two meetings just to iron all of those out, because wholesale lifting will create a few imbalances, shall we say. But it can be done very quickly because you've got a very sound first set, and this looks suspiciously like the milk calc model.
Yeah, so this is the version that was adopted last by the trustee,
Yeah.
because they were not looked at last year. So this is the first time they've been reviewed since I've been here, certainly. So it was really to bring them to the trustee, see what your opinion was and you know how you felt about them. Obviously, Councillor Gray you've all agreed that you'd like to use the template that we use for the town council, but changing it to the trustee. So it's really, if you want those to then go to the committee, we want them to come back to the trustee, and maybe that's a conversation in the finance committee that you might want to think about.
Okay, Councillor Wiles.
Okay, so that's clarified that this is the current adopted standing orders of this Tollbridge Fund.
Yeah.
So this was, as before your decision, this was the standing orders that we have, but you've just decided to adopt the same template that you use for the town council. So I'll have to obviously alter that to reflect the trustee, and then obviously you might want to in the future look at them again to review them.
I think my proposal is, rather than having extended meetings, working parties, etc., the way forward on this is for the town clerk to circulate this to all councillors and say, this is under review. If you have any proposed amendments, please send them to me. And the town clerk then tries to highlight in red the changes that might be necessary. And then
Sounds
circulate
quicker,
that
doesn't it?
to the committee. So that at the committee we have a clear understanding of what's
The
extent
difference,
of what might
yeah.
be up for changing,
Yeah,
so that we can then discuss that in more depth.
that would be a lot quicker, wouldn't it, I guess? Yeah, Councillor Tudor, I think.
So I was going to say that
Next
I think
one.
we should defer it to the committee, because this meeting only meets every 3 months, so we don't get it right next time, then it'll be a 6-month lapse, so that's not appropriate. So I think we should agree here that we defer it to the committee to approve the standing orders once the alignment is made, and that's why I abstained. It was about that actually it's not just a simple lift and drop, it's about we need to do some tweaking to make sure that what we're doing is operating as trustees as opposed to councillors.
Councillor
I
Black.
would agree to that it should be, the draft you produce should be referred to the committee, who should look at it and then recommend it to the council.
I was going to make the point differing from Councillor Wells. Having spent a lot of time on the STC one, I think if you're trying to tweak this one, that actually will give you more, because there's bits in here and so my suggestion is actually the converse of that, which is look at the STC one, look where it fits, where it doesn't fit, and add the issues in. I suspect might be quicker. I'm happy to be outvoted on that, but I just think that having chaired the previous working group and known how difficult it was and how long it took us to get through the calc and NALC model, which in essence this is, you might be quicker doing it the other way around. I'm not going to go to the wall on that, but I suspect that's the way. No, I defer to your experience on that. So, Councillor Franklin.
There's quite a few different things happening on this meeting tonight, and I think there's a meeting scheduled for Wednesday, isn't there?
Yeah.
What about delaying it to next month, so we can already get the bits off? So instead of having the meeting Wednesday, because if we do it next month, and all those things should be sorted out by then, shouldn't they? All these different rules and changes, all this restructuring all the words, otherwise we're just doing bits and pieces. And Wednesday, I don't know, well,
It'd have to be
could
like
have kind
an
of done
extraordinary
Wednesday,
one,
will it?
Yeah.
I think we're going to do it next month.
Yeah.
But you might have to have an extraordinary for the finances anyway, so maybe that's the solution.
So
So you'd have
I
to
had a
have.
slightly different reflection, Jeff. So I thought what we're agreeing here is we defer it to the committee to manage the process.
Exactly.
The committee meets on Wednesday just to agree how that process then works.
Yeah.
So Wednesday will not resolve anything, and you're
No.
quite right. But I think we just have to do that formal hand across,
Exactly.
and on Wednesday
to get
accept
that.
it, and then agree who's going to do whatever needs to be done for the next meeting.
The only thing is that I've stood down from two big committees,
You have?
and this one's been added on to the end of the finance. So that means I've got to come here and sit here for 2 hours to discuss this.
You don't necessarily, do you? Unless you want to.
No, I don't want to. I'm just finding it out. I don't have to. I might put a policy for Wednesday.
So Jeff, if responsibility is passed down to the committee takes ownership. If you're not part of that
Exactly.
committee, then you're content with that.
I didn't realise, I didn't realise, Mr Chairman, that the Tollbridge Fund was going to take place after the Finance and General Committee. I thought it should be, but especially as we got the Maddox being set up, so I
Yeah.
thought the Tollbridge Fund and the Maddox would be on the same evenings. Just those two charities would be like 3 times a year. I didn't realise it was going to be taxed on the back of the Finance and General Purposes Committee.
I think that was for convenience, so
Yeah.
that you didn't have to come 2 or 3 evenings in 1 week.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Well, no, I think when I arrived, the finance committee always followed the finance and general purposes purely because usually it used to historically be the same membership on both finance committees on the Tollbridge and on the council.
Yeah.
And there was a slight difference this year.
No, you did ask me whether I wanted to stand down, didn't you?
I think,
From the finance one, Tollbridge Finance Committee.
yeah, but it was purely because the membership had changed on the finance and general
Yeah.
purposes. And you said that you were not keen on being on the finance and general purposes.
Yeah.
So I was just checking with you
Yeah.
if you were happy and content to stay on the finance committee.
Yeah, but what I mean is, Town Clerk, that I still want to come here to a Finance and General Purpose Committee to do this committee afterwards.
Well, it's because it
just-
follows the Finance and General Purposes Committee. It means that obviously we won't be able to exactly tell you what time the Finance Committee would be held.
Yeah, so if you say,
we could
finance, if you set a time at 8 o'clock, that would be the, Tollbridge, you can't, you don't know what that's going to take.
No, and
make
that's
a
the thing.
phone call to call you.
Well, it could be, if the thing's at 6:30, it could be 8 o'clock, couldn't it?
Could be.
Later.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's how things. It's how things have changed. You see, this is the thing. You've got to.
Yeah, I'm trying, I've got personal problems at home, as you know, Mr Mayor.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
indeed.
cut
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't it be sensible that actually knowing those 2 meetings back to back, that at least the first hour will be consumed by the first meeting, so you do
Yeah.
not need to attend.
Yeah.
And if for any perchance you turn up 5-10 minutes late,
Yeah.
that's just the risk you have to run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, unfortunately, everything has changed in this past year, and you've got to accept the changes because you've all voted them in.
No,
so
I agree,
that's what
but I
I'm
just didn't
saying.
realise it was
So yeah,
going to be tanked on.
yeah. I'm afraid this is what if you make changes, you've got to accept the consequences. I'm afraid. Councillor Black.
Can I, being the absolute pedant that I can be, can I just clarify then? On Wednesday, the committee is going to decide how it takes it forward.
Exactly.
Until they have arrived at a final document, does this document stand, or do we have nothing?
Yeah.
It's really to understand where we are in the legal position.
Yes. So yes, if members, you did vote earlier to say that you want to adopt the exact template that you use for town council, but that will need obviously to be altered to reflect the trustee. So I think you've made the decision, you voted, that's what you said you're doing. So I need now to go back to the STC template, look at how I adjust that to be trustee, then share that with members, and then you'll need to obviously review it in future meetings. But I think as it stands, you've all voted that you want the STC template. That's what you voted. That will reflect then that you the committees choose a chair when you get to the first committee meeting.
Yes.
So I think it's another conversation to be had in the future. I think as it stands, you've said you're going to go with the STC template. I need to alter that to reflect the trustee, and then you can review that, because it will take, I think a number of weeks to review and make sure that everyone's comfortable with. And that happened last year for STC, so I think it'll be the same process.
Until the new one's voted on and agreed.
They have just voted on and said
they
STC
voted on
template.
to use the template, but we haven't voted on the final version.
No, because I need to obviously alter that.
So I think what Councillor Black is saying is until the final version has actually been adopted by this council, are we relying on these? Is that correct?
Well, yeah.
That's my question, because otherwise to my mind, and I don't know enough about it, is that we're in a vacuum.
Yes.
If we don't have this until the version comes into place.
Yeah.
But I think I'm hearing you say, okay, STC1 slot in, and then we've got to work on it.
Yes.
That's right.
So STC will be the document that decides, but we recognise that will have to have tweaks to it.
Yes.
Indeed.
And those will, okay, so this one then becomes redundant de facto.
That's it, at that point.
Yes.
At that point.
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay, all right, sorry to get the pen.
That's right.
No.
Councillor Wiles, last one.
Last one. So that's why I'm suggesting that all councillors contribute to this process rather than just a committee. Because if the town clerk runs the whole shebang, then she can put together a consensual view of all the comments that are received into a document highlighting the proposed changes, which this Tollbridge Fund can then agree upon. I think that's an easier process to manage than just a committee dealing with.
Right. So we've got two. What came first? Have we agreed? Sorry, in your minutes, what came first? Did we agree for it to go to the committee?
Yes.
Because then Councillor Wiles is now saying.
Yes. So, but you haven't voted on that yet.
No. But
So
if that was put forward, I have to go with whatever
Yes.
proposal is put forward
Yes.
first. So I think it was put forward for the committee. So Councillor Wiles, what we'd have to do is we'd have to vote on the proposal that is put to the committee, and then we'll have to come onto your proposal if that's okay. And it would be dependent on the councillors as to what they would prefer. But although yours may be quicker, it's by democracy.
And let's remember, all councillors have an opportunity to go to the committee meetings, and they can contribute even if they don't vote. So if somebody's really driven by standing orders for the STBF, they can come along there and contribute.
Indeed, thank you for that. So the proposal is to take this to committee, and for the committee to tweak the version that we're using for STC.
STBF.
STBF.
Oh, sorry, tweak the test.
Yeah, I thought I was right.
Yes.
So this is for the STC version to be taken to committee and be tweaked, and that is the first proposal that's going forward. I need somebody, a proposer, I can't remember who put that forward, Councillor Gray, and I need somebody to second that, that's Councillor Black. So all those in favour of that option, please show. Is yours green as well, is it?
It is.
Oh, super, thank you. That's
Over the flow.
sorry. When people are holding up three colours, Councillor Morehouse started that. So, super, that's unanimous. So, that's super. But Councillor Wiles, thank you very much for putting up an alternative option to try and...
I'll propose my proposal at the committee.
Indeed, please do.
Instead.
Oh. Okay, so item number 7 is STBF terms of reference and delegated review, and this is SO 5C 4 and 5, and the town clerk is providing the terms and reference of town Tollbridge Fund committees which are due for an annual review, and this is attachment number 5. So that's this document here. Can you all find that document okay? It's committee terms of reference.
Mr. Mayor.
Oh, indeed.
You haven't actually dealt with item 6B.
Oh, sorry.
We discussed item 6A.
Oh, just to note that the financial,
Just a note,
yeah,
yes.
the financial regulations are to be drafted for the finance committee meeting in July.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay then. Oh, sure. So, beg your pardon. Item number 6B, members are invited to note that the proposed financial regulations will be drafted for the finance committee meeting in July. I'm quite happy to propose that, to note that. Is that, and Councillor Gray is seconding that. All those in favour of noting that, please show.
Thank you.
Okay, and that's unanimous. Thank you very much. Thank you for that, Councillor Gray. So, item number 7 is Sandwich Tollbridge Fund terms of reference and delegations review, and this is SO 5C 4 and 5, and the town clerk has provided terms of reference for the Tollbridge Fund committees, which are due for an annual review. And this is attachment 5. So this is just reviewing that. So do I have that? Councillor Wallace?
Yeah, just a general point about the governing document of the Tollbridge Fund. I mean, if I'm the trustee of a charity, I like to know what the governing document says about what the charity is and what our rules and etc. are. But I've struggled to find anything, even though I've been a councillor for a couple of years now. So it refers in the general introduction about Sandwich Tollbridge Fund is governed by an act for building a bridge over the water or haven between the town of Sandwich and the opposite shore. I can't find a copy of that act.
Oh.
And I don't know what, if you look on the Charity Commission website, you can't find the governing document of the Tollbridge Fund. So I would like to know what I'm actually in charge of.
Sure.
So I think we need to do a bit more work on that. It seems that we've been running this charity for many, many years, but perhaps not knowing exactly what our rights and responsibilities are.
I can actually guarantee you, I think Councillor Franklin may back me up here, that I have actually seen that document.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah, previously, so I know a photocopy of the document, obviously not the original. Have you ever seen that, Councillor Franklin?
Yeah, it's for the people of Sandwich, you know.
That's-
yeah.
Yeah, so I know it is in
Community of
existence,
Sandwich.
so but
I just think for a future meeting.
Do we have a copy of it?
Yes.
yeah, we will have.
You have got a copy of it?
Yeah, we will have. Yeah,
Or the town clerk has got a copy?
I've personally got a copy at home, which is a photocopy of the original. So I should imagine Councillor Franklin has actually. So,
Yeah.
The Tollbridge Fund wasn't set up until 1974.
Yeah.
But the Act of Parliament was in 1750 something.
yeah.
So is the Act of Parliament the governing document, or was a new governing document written at that time? I'm not clear, and I think we need.
Yeah.
1774, that's the date of the Storm of Cut, isn't it?
What? 1757.
Or 17.
Yeah.
1750.
That was
charity
actually the Act of Parliament which enabled the town
Yes.
council to levy a charge
Yeah.
for the thing, but the actual Act of the Tollbridge Fund would be the 1974
Yeah,
one.
1974.
Would be the
I
1974.
would just like to see those documents to
Yeah.
see what we are administering.
Oh sure, yeah, and that's your right. That's your right to that.
So
So
district council
would we be able
the
to
money,
look
so
those
it's like
up?
set to
Yes.
charity.
if you want, sure, perhaps Karen might
Yeah.
know if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
I know Laura would because
Yeah.
she gave a copy to me actually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's fine.
okay, thank you very much for that. So, where are we again now? Oh, terms of reference. So did we like the terms of reference? Oh, Councillor Chuka.
Yeah, I just got one question. It's under the heading decision and delegated powers.
Mhm.
There's a bulletin there that committees do not have individual budgets,
Mhm.
are advisory and do not have power to act unless resolved by the full trustee on specific items. So I'm comfortable with that, but the issue it flags up is that the trustee will only meet every quarter now. So when we have financial approvals to give, Where are we expecting those to happen without the authority to have budgetary controls at the committee level? And then the second question that is linked to it directly is that we do need to actually agree what that list of limited delegations are. Do we have an agreement on how that might happen? Because that should actually come back to the trustee in the end to approve that those delegations are acceptable.
Exactly.
So there's a circle there that I'm not quite sure how we go around it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Mr. Chairman, don't all the committees make recommendations to the full council, because the 16 councillors are all trustees of the charity, aren't they? So this committee can't make grants for it until it's confirmed by the full council, isn't it?
Full Tollbridge.
That's,
Full
yeah,
copy of
the
the
toll,
16
the
councils.
toll bridge, yeah. Yeah, the toll bridge,
Yeah,
yeah,
which
that's
means-
correct.
You can only make recommendations, so you can't actually say you're going to get £5,000.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
sort of said, Jeff, in the sense that the full 16 meet every quarter,
Yeah.
That's it.
but there is the day-to-day management of the financials for the Tollbridge Fund,
Yeah.
which would normally have come to a monthly meeting. But if we're saying that the limitations on the committee would exclude that, how are we going to get over that particular problem?
What was salaries, you
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
Yes?
Sorry, town clerk first, please.
That's why I brought this to you, because I wasn't sure if everybody's comfortable with agreeing that the authority is delegated to the finance committee, and that's really what you need to debate.
Yeah. Councillor Black?
Yeah, there's a similar issue with the Museum and Archive Committee, because it says all recommendations shall be placed before the next meeting of the trustee for discussion and or approval. There may be a number of decisions that this could arrive at, which are not necessarily significant financial decisions. And if they have to come back and they've got to wait maximum 3 months, as the same issue that Councillor Tucker has raised, it's almost the same wording as well.
Yeah.
So I think both of those need to be considered as to whether this is actually practical, given the new schedule of meetings.
Yeah. Indeed.
Yeah, and I think it's for maybe the committees to discuss what sort of delegation they would be seeking, because I didn't want to do a lot of work on this and then people not very happy about committees having too much delegation.
Exactly.
But I think, we can have extraordinary trustee meetings. It's not that we can't meet more than every quarter. And I think that is now the debate that the committees need to have is, what sort of delegation you'll be seeking, and whether the trustee then agree that you can have that delegated authority so that decision making can be passed to the committees. And that's really what should be coming through now in the next month or two.
That's fine.
Chair, couldn't I think the contentious thing is the salaries monthly, isn't it? Can we just set up the salaries at the town council meetings, have the Tollbridge Fund, so that it monthly, that goes ahead, like the committee, when they have the committee, they get permission for the salaries to be paid on a monthly basis.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The committees will have to have conversations, the Museum and Archive and the Finance Committee, about what sort of delegation you're seeking, because I didn't want to go putting in here lots of amounts of money and people saying I don't feel comfortable. So it's when you get to the committee, really, that's when you're going to have to be having those discussions. And obviously I'll need to have the discussions with the RFO as well.
That's right,
Councillor Wiles?
Yeah, just to be clear, the Tollbridge Fund has a single trustee.
Yes.
On the Charity Commission website, we are the trustee.
That's correct.
We're not individual trustees.
No,
No, it is,
We're collectively
Yeah.
trustees.
Yeah.
Councillor?
Could I raise a question about membership of the Museum and Archive Committee? And under 3 it says the committee shall consist of up to 9 council members of Sandwich Town Council. Can members be co-opted on that committee? I mean, I would have thought, for example, that at least one of the volunteers at the museum might like to be a member of the committee.
That'll be a conversation for the Museum and Archive Committee once you get to that first meeting. And if you wanted to do a report, Councillor Fortescue, you're more than welcome to do that.
Proposing that?
Yeah.
If you wish to.
That'd be the committee to decide.
Okay then. So, with those amendments, did we want to propose and second this item? So,
I've got what the item is, sorry.
all right, okay. It's for this initial
Terms of reference.
terms of reference. Let's read it out again. So this is SO 5C 4 and 5, and the town clerk has provided the terms and reference for the Tollbridge Fund committees, which are an annual review. And as has been discussed here tonight, there's a number of items that will need to be picked up in the committees to agree those, but we're just voting on the terms of reference currently.
So, sorry, because I think a number of points were raised about concerns about the terms of reference. So I'm not quite sure just what we're voting on. Are we saying we'd like the committees now to look at their terms of reference and come back to this committee? Is that the
That's
proposal?
right, yeah, that's what we've got to do, because a number of items have been raised that you aren't happy with, so they've got to be raised in the committees.
Right. So the formal motion that's suggested is that the two committees are to review the terms of reference for each one and come back with recommendations, whatever they may be,
Yeah.
to this storage fund,
So, yeah.
to the trustee,
Yeah.
and then for the trustee to accept or not accept.
Exactly.
So that's,
And
so
not to review, say, all of them, but the ones that have been raised tonight, obviously. I mean,
Right.
you are welcome to review all of them, but if not, we will just review. So that would be the proposal to do that. So we're taking these terms and references to the committees to consider and amend. Is that clear? Okay. If that's
Yeah, the expectation would be that we may need to have an extraordinary meeting to have these rather than wait 3 months to get them agreed. So
Yeah.
we just need to recognise that.
that's right.
extraordinary, you meet possibly one item agenda.
Yes,
Indeed,
yes, exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you proposing?
I'm
Councillor?
proposing that.
That's good.
I'll second that.
And Councillor Black seconding that. All those in favour? That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you, that's unanimous. Okay. That's good. Item number 8. It's almost as difficult as the England match last night, isn't it?
Second half.
Do we have the option to go to VAR? So, for consideration. Item number 8, this should be quite a relatively easy one to consider. Appointments of membership for Tollbridge Fund committees. This is SO 5C 6, and this is to appoint members to committees for the ensuing civic year as follows. Finance Committee, 9 councillors, including the Mayor, and Museum and Archive Committee,
Amended to 9. Amended to 9.
oh, amended to 9, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, is that this one here? Is it?
Yes.
Oh, so the Finance Committee is now amended to 9.
Sorry, no, the Museum and Archive.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Museum and Archive is now 9.
I've got right, my substitute. I've just brought my substitute on. So, Museum and Archive Committee is 9 councillors. Was this the one, Councillor Morehouse? Was
Yes.
it?
Yes.
Oh, right. Oh, so you're the sub that we're bringing on off the bench. So, to 9, including the Mayor. So, Councillor Gray, did you have a query?
Well, I think you've answered it. I was going to say I do feel very strongly that Councillor Morehouse should be a member of that committee. Because I gather he is now a member of that.
He's asked to be a member, yeah, but obviously some members can't always make earlier committees if they're working, so it's perhaps presupposed that Councillor Morehouse might not be able to get here for it, but
8 o'clock is all right.
But that, excuse me, sorry, that applies to quite a few of the...
it does indeed,
So-
so it's down to the individual member to which ones they want to attend, and so indeed that is correct. Okay, so Oh, Councillor Morehouse.
I would suggest that the meetings are held at a convenient time for the trustees.
Indeed, yeah, I agree fully with you. Being a working full-time working class man, indeed. So I think my father was a toolmaker. No reference to politics. Would you like to put that forward as a proposal at the meeting?
Certainly would.
Indeed, that's good. So this one we're voting on Finance Committee 9 councillors, including the Mayor, and Museum and Archive Committee is 9 councillors, including the Mayor. Is everybody happy with that?
So the amendment is Councillor Morehouse on Museum and Archive Committee. Yeah.
Well, that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I read.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
So Finance Committee 9 councillors, including the Mayor. Okay.
Yep.
Finance Committee. Museum and Archive Committee 9 councillors, including the Mayor, and the additional substitute is who is making it up to 9. So your bit of paper may say 8, but it will be 9 for the Museum and Archive. Will be Councillor Morehouse.
He's not a substitute.
No, it's not something. No, sorry, I was joking. Yeah. That's why I'm just trying to make it
But
clear.
different sense of humour.
Just trying to make it clear. Yeah. Sorry.
Pardon?
So, are you all 100% clear on this one?
I'm sorting somebody out.
Oh, are you? That's my job. Yeah, who was it? But so are you all clear on those 2 now? So you've got 9 members on each committee and no substitutes. So thank you very much. Right. I'm happy to propose that. So, and Councillor Wiles second it. All those in favour?
Yeah.
That's lovely. Thank you for that. That's good. So item number 9 is appointment of any new committees, and this is SO 5C7, and this is to note that there's no further committees are proposed at this time. So I'm proposing to note that. Everybody in favour of noting that item?
Yes,
No further committees. Thank you very much. That's okay. And item number 10 is a review of standing orders 5C9 and 5C7, to note that a review will be undertaken and a report will be produced to the trustees at a future meeting. So I'm prepared to note that. Proposed. Is everybody happy with that? Yeah. To note that. Councillor Duke.
I'm just going to ask, is the numbering right on this? It's from 9 to, can't be to 7, can it?
So it was in this current, well, that was the current. So if you look down to 5,
6.
5C, so it covers items from,
Well, there's 9 there.
yeah, you review of arrangements including legal agreements with other local authorities, non-for-profit bodies and businesses, review of representation or work with external bodies and arrangements for reporting back, review of inventory and land and other assets including buildings and office equipment, confirmation of arrangements for insurance, no, it's only down to 7, sorry, it was only down to 7. No, I think it was CX actually. I think it was CX.
Oh yes, so that's
Yes.
that's 9,
Yes.
7 to 9.
Yes. So
7
5 to 7. Yeah.
Stick it out a bit more.
I'm sorry, I'm really confused.
All right.
Yeah, so it's
Which
review,
ones are we agreeing?
review of representation on or work with external bodies, review of inventory of land and other assets including buildings and office equipment.
Yep, which is 11.
Yeah.
11, that's it.
Which one
Review
above 7?
of,
So 17 I think we're looking at, aren't we, rather than 7? Is that right?
Or perhaps there's an X missing there.
I think that's what it is.
I think that's the point.
Is it down to this one? Is it?
It's down to the
Oh, that.
XV, yes.
Oh, right.
Review of the trustees.
Oh, yeah, that's 17.
So
Yeah. Yeah,
9 to
17.
17.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
So,
that's right, yes.
apologies. There's
Yes.
there's an X missing.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, sorry, shall I read that again? This is, to note, this is a review of standing orders 5C9 to 5C17. And it's to note that a review to be undertaken and a report to be produced to the trustees at a future meeting. So, is that clear?
Why are we using Roman numerals?
I was going to say, stick to
I thought we'd be more modern than that.
I think it's
That's Confucius over here.
that's town clerk convention.
It would be useful to stick to either all Roman numerals or all Arabic. Please, let's stick to Arabic.
So those in favour of reviewing those? Thank you. Accept yours, Councillor Mrs Carter. That's okay, that's been passed anyway, with, unless you need to abstain. Okay. Item number 11, date for next annual meeting of the trustees, and this is a standing order 5C8.
I think it's XB.
Oh, sorry, 18.
Yeah.
So this is 5C18, sorry, big pardon. The town clerk is to propose a date for the annual meeting of the trustees of the Tollbridge Fund for 2025, and she has quite kindly put forward the 16th of June 2025, Anno Domini, so, just to confuse you further.
Common era.
ADEN, got a V on it now.
BC, yeah, and that's on the Gregorian calendar. So, okay, those in favour of the date of the 16th of June 2025, please show. That's unanimous there, thank you. That's excellent, that's good now. Item number 12, is that okay?
Yes, that's
Thank
right.
you. Date of next Sandwich Town Council as Sandwich Tollbridge Fund trustee meeting will be the 23rd of September 2024. Thank you very much for your forbearance and patience. And the meeting closed. Sorry. Meeting closed.